Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody joining us this morning. A Thursday morning. It's still cold as hell. And I guess I can't even say cold as hell, right? That's kind of a contradiction, no?
Yeah, because hell's typically hot.
Right? Depending on, what you believe in. I don't know.
But it's cold. It's supposed to warm up a little bit
cold.
next week. It's supposed to warm up a little bit next week.
That's what I'm trying to get across this morning. It is cold, and I hope you're all warm.
Hey, just wait till tomorrow when it's going to be like -10 tomorrow morning. Good luck.
Shut the hell up, Fish. It's too early.
I just want you to know it's going to be cold.
Fish, you got a whole coat on and hat inside, so you know about it being cold.
I have no words for you. All right? Just drop it. Jeff, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Oh God, Pistons were canceled last night, so I guess that's a good thing for you.
Yeah,
right?
they're just trying to get out of Texas, I think, at the moment. I don't know what's going on over in Dallas. Apparently,
the whole South is like completely frozen right now.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And I lived in Georgia for a period of time, and I just remember down in different states. I'm so used to Michigan, it'd have to snow like 2 feet to close schools. In Georgia, it's like 6 inches, you're closed. I feel like that's how it is in
Not
Dallas,
even like
too.
6 centimeters.
Michigan, what'd you say, Fish?
They closed for like 6 centimeters of snow.
Yeah, see, it's unlike, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin. It's a little different of a different breed of people. But you know what else I saw yesterday? All these coaches. Duce Staley, you got Aaron Glenn going in for another interview with the Colts.
We can start with Duce Staley. Duce Staley accepts a position with the Carolina Panthers after they hired Frank Reich. Originally, reports were OC. I haven't really seen anything.
They haven't confirmed that yet.
So I don't. To me, where do you want to start with this? Because I got a lot of issues with this. Are the Lions going to miss him? No. Am I concerned that he's left? No. Am I praying for him and his family? Yes. That's an unfortunate situation nobody ever wants to be in. Totally understand. So, really wishing him the best. But what is he going to do? I really, genuinely, I'm just curious.
Right.
It's not an OC position. Frank Reich is the play caller. I don't know if you guys know this. Frank Reich comes from the Philly tree, from the Andy Reid tree, really, if you want to date it back. When he was the Colts, he was the guy. And then they threw their offensive coordinator under the bus. This has nothing written all over it, and I don't know what to make of it, Jeff. I really don't.
I was shocked initially when I saw the news, but as I read more into it, it did make a lot more sense. I mean, you have Duce, who spent 9 years. Number one, played in Philly, but spent 9 years with Doug Peterson. Was with Frank Reich as well with that coaching staff. And I got a lot of love for Duce Staley, what he's able to do with these running backs. I mean, everyone, we've seen Hard Knocks. You've seen the back and forth with Duce Staley, AG, and how he talks to DeAndre Swift and tries to make him the best running back he can be. And then I started reading more into really Duce's personal life, and it made a little more sense to me. I mean, number one, he's from Carolina, South Carolina specifically, grew up there, went to high school there, went to college there, played college football. He has his mother who's ill right now, wants to be closer to his mother, goes back and works with a familiar face in Frank Reich, and they have a pretty good running back room. I mean, Lions fans should know that. They ran for over 300 yards against you. So, I'm not too frustrated with it. I believe Dan and his ability to hire a replacement for Duce. Although I was shocked. What are we
replacing? A motivational speaker?
And he's probably going to have a similar title. Probably
go hire Tony Robbins.
Running backs coach, assistant coach over in Carolina. But you know what else? This is the more important news to me. After his departure, I don't know if you see this because it was kind of under the radar, but the Lions, like about a week and a half ago, they hired a new
tight ends coach.
Yes.
Yep.
And that gives room for Tanner Engstrand to work more on the passing game, strictly just the passing game. So what that means is Now you get to
He'll
groom
get a
somebody.
year under Ben Johnson, potentially, if they want to go internal.
Absolutely. So I like how they're kind of shaping up this coaching staff and preparing for the future. But, hey, love Duce Staley. I'm going to miss him, but I believe in Dan. You're going to be able to find a replacement for him.
Yeah, I'm going to miss somebody telling DeAndre Swift he's a bitch. That's great. Go hire Tony Robbins or Gary Vee. I don't know.
Tony Robbins, yeah.
Who's the other guy? David Goggins. Go get David Goggins.
No, David Goggins would be
Make him your
the
running
real
back
deal.
coach. That I would pay to see. That I would pay to see.
Yeah.
I would buy season tickets if they pull
People,
that off.
I keep seeing Barry Sanders too.
It's not happening.
It's
not happening.
Barry Sanders is the running back coach.
Not happening. But look, to whatever move, wish him the best of luck. And,
Yeah, I think it's more personal. I don't think
see.
it's it's not like
We'll
he
see.
did like being
Obviously, I have a little, bias towards this conversation because I hated the idea of Duce Staley ever getting looked at as an OC in Detroit once upon a time when they moved on from Anthony Lynn, and I thought that was ridiculous. And we had I don't want to say a heated discussion, but it never made sense. It never made sense in Philly, and never made sense in Detroit. I wish him the best of luck. But let's get to your boy Aaron Glenn.
Hey,
Second interview lined up. And what did we talk about yesterday? Arizona needs an adult in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray, Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins. Some faces on defense, but it's a project. In a division where they will not be better than the Niners next year. They will be maybe on par with the Rams. If the Seahawks fall off, then on par with the Seahawks if they're really lucky. This is a tough job, which has upside, like all NFL jobs do. They have upside if done correctly. But you need an adult in the room. I'm still on the Brian Flores train. I haven't really heard much there. The fact that he as an Aaron Glenn is going for a second interview, good for him. But you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Your franchise quarterback is hurt. He doesn't play like a franchise quarterback because one of the ultimate qualities of a franchise quarterback, Jeff, is what?
Well, availability. That's a big one. Yeah.
That's the biggest one. Stafford, for all the knocks you could give him, he was always there. Brett Favre, all the interceptions,
He was always
there.
Yeah.
That's the franchise guy. Not playing Call of Duty. Not have to worry about what you're going to do. And this is why I hate running quarterbacks. Kyler Murray doesn't run because it's a skill only. He runs because he can't see over the offensive line. He runs because they don't really have a working offense, to be honest with you. And that's not ideal. So whoever you hire, please make the hire about how do we get the best out of Kyler Murray and protect him. Do I think Aaron Glenn or Brian Flores or any defensive coach is that? No. But damn it, Kyler also needs an adult in the room. Kyler does need somebody to put his arm around him and say, son, let me teach you the ways.
Right.
You want to last 12, 13 years in the league like I did? Let me show you how. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to prepare. You got to do this.
And I don't like the Colts. Listen, a head coaching job, a job's a job. You're going to get guaranteed money. It's an opportunity for Aaron Glenn, so I love it. He's getting a second interview. I don't know how serious they're taking AG, but if you're talking about the situation in Indianapolis, the way to whoever you're hiring isn't a defensive coordinator. You got to fix that offense. That's the big thing for me. That's why Ben Johnson to Indianapolis. They're probably going to get their franchise quarterback in the draft. The AG hire doesn't make a ton of sense. Especially with Jim Irsay, impulsive owner. I don't know how the fit would work, but still, the fact that AG is getting a second interview with multiple teams shows you what kind of leader he is, what kind of human being he is. And he can command a locker room. I think AG over the next couple of years will be looked at more and more, but I don't know if I love the Colts fit with him. I just, that's a job that I think Jeff Saturday is probably in the lead for.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
But let me ask you this.
But that's Irsay's guy.
You're my GM.
Right.
You interviewing Aaron Glenn?
Yeah. I'm interviewing Aaron Glenn.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what situation.
Not on my list.
Who am I? Give me a team.
Arizona.
Yes. I would interview Aaron Glenn.
Interesting.
Depends on if he's the right fit. If you want an adult in the room, leader of men.
I'll give you that one. He checks that box.
Yes. But do you want to hire somebody who's inexperienced after you just took on Cliff Kingsbury? Probably not. So that's why Brian Flores, to me, is the pick for Arizona. It makes sense. It makes too much sense, especially if he wants to be there.
Well, in the sake of getting the Lions more draft picks, hopefully it's Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
And you're missing out on the DC, who led the Lions to an outstanding overall rank on defense of 30th in the NFL. So not too much loss there. But if I'm honest about Aaron Glenn, I think very underappreciated.
Definitely.
The work he did down the stretch, really last year and this past season. You look at his first year in Detroit, Dan Campbell, Anthony Lynn, that whole crew, he kept them in those games. I don't know how they did it, but he did. And then you look back to last year, that 10-game stretch where they had a top 12 defense. Won by accident. Pass rush got better, started forcing takeaways. Lions started winning games. That's nice.
See, that's what you look at with Aaron Glenn is how does he develop young defensive talent? He's done that.
To an extent. The secondary position, I'm not sure how they haven't been able to develop it. You can say Mike Hughes, but Jerry Jacobs, but come on. Need some talent there.
Yeah, you do.
But Kirby Joseph, I got to give him that, right?
But if the player has talent, he's shown he could bring it out of him. Kirby,
100%.
James, Aiden. And again, there's other coaches, but AG to me, he checks a lot of those boxes. But the biggest thing to take away from this, the fact that Ben was in these conversations, Aaron Glenn, Duce got pulled away to Carolina. This is something different in Detroit. I've never seen this in my lifetime. As many assistants being plucked away as it's happened this year or could happen in the future. It's a great thing. It means you're trending in the right direction. That's what that means.
Fair enough. Well, look, let's take a break. When we get back, Tom Brady retired yesterday, and it was breaking news on the show towards the end of a segment. I don't really think we got an appropriate amount of time, but I want to take a different angle this morning. Not just about Tom Brady, but about life in general in the NFL and sports. And I truly believe we're missing the boat here on a lot of what's going on. I want to share my thoughts with you guys, and you let me know what you think. So we'll do that next. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, because it is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or you can pay $120 and get a reservation for up to 10 people. They also have the $2 mystery beer machine, full bar. Check it all out, fullingwarehouse.com.
I love it. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. As always, Adham, Beydoun, Jeff Iafrate, 8 to 10, Monday through Fridays. Tom Brady retires yesterday, and it is the end of a chapter for arguably the greatest player you could make the case in NFL history. That's all great. But I'm going to really just look past that for a second, because I think we're missing the boat here. Forget the idea that he had 3 Hall of Fame careers and throughout his entire 23-year history. Forget the fact that he won the Super Bowl every 2.75 years. Forget all that. Those are all great numbers. He'll go down statistically as the best quarterback of all time today. No problem. But my goodness, the standard we, as sports fans, even now media, as it evolves and grows, the standard we hold players and coaches to, especially players, I find inconsistent, delusional, and downright blasphemous, to be honest with you. So, for example, we'll start with Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you could show me a better 5-year start to anybody in NFL history, a better 5-year start to their career than Patrick Mahomes. Should I wait to say he's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen? Do I have to wait 10 years for that? You tell me.
No. I mean, no.
Does Patrick Mahomes need to win 7 quarterbacks to be considered one of the greatest quarterbacks ever?
Win 7 Super Bowls.
Excuse me?
I mean, a lot of people would say that, but no, I don't think
a lot of people are fucking stupid, to be honest with you.
I don't think he has to.
Realistically, before Tom Brady entered the fold, all right? Let's just think about life before Tom Brady. And even life during Tom Brady pre-2010. 3 Super Bowls. Could he catch Montana? We never knocked Breeze for having 1 Super Bowl. We never knocked Peyton Manning for having 2, one which he was gifted by a defense, and Cam Newton fumbling, I think, on the first snap of the game.
And he'll admit that, too.
We didn't knock Ben Roethlisberger for winning early and never winning again. We didn't knock Marino for not winning at all. Elway for winning late.
And we barely knock Aaron Rodgers.
Steve Young, Aaron Rodgers.
And he's won 1.
Think of all the great quarterbacks I just named you. How many of them have 1 Super Bowl win? Rodgers. Breeze. Come on, people. We hold these players to a standard, which is fine. You can hold your players to elite standards. I don't mind that at all. But when we talk about Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowls is damn near impossible. Playing 23 years in the NFL, at any position, even kicker, is damn near impossible.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear about the GOAT conversation. We do this with our teams, with our coaches. Doug Peterson. Forget Doug Peterson. Nick Sirianni. Got to the Super Bowl in his 2nd year. I should hold every coach that is hired this year by that standard. Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl in his first full season as a starter. I'm going to hold every rookie quarterback to that standard. No, they're called anomalies. They don't happen. What is success in the NFL? To be honest, I don't know anymore. I don't. To me, success used to be you would win your division, and that was a sign of consistency, and that you were one of the better teams over the course of a 16, now 17-game schedule.
Right.
You'd get to the playoffs. You'd host a playoff game. You'd win a playoff game, maybe even 2. Get to the conference title game. Maybe you had a bye week. Maybe you win 1 and you get there. That used to be success. And now we use the one objective, which is a Super Bowl, which everybody wants to win, as the only data point. Which I find amusing because Bill Russell has more chips than Michael, but Michael's the greatest.
Don't worry, I was going to get there. Yeah.
And LeBron? What does LeBron need to do? I don't know anymore. And you know me, I'm a Michael guy. But he's going to be top 3 in assists all time. He'll be the point leader by a landslide. He'll be top, 20, 15, 10 in rebounds? I don't know.
Yep. What
does he need to do to prove that he's not only just in the conversation, that he is the best? I don't know. What does Mahomes need to do? This standard we hold these people to. Coaches, players, doesn't matter. Your teams, I find egregious.
Yeah,
to be honest.
And it's similar to the NBA, like you brought up. People didn't wait for MJ to get to Bill Russell's amount of rings because he never was going to get there.
When he came back and won the 4th one.
Right. It's an eye test for the most part, but the other part is looking at the most accomplished. Right. Bill Russell's the most accomplished NBA player of all time, but we know the greatest is Michael, and that was kind of the thing with LeBron. LeBron was only. What, in 2016, people had that conversation, is it Michael or LeBron? LeBron was still playing. Like, it's you have to be able to see these things. And Patrick Mahomes, that's why I brought up on the show, Tom Brady, to me, is the greatest because of the totality of everything. And it doesn't take away from anything what Tom is. But Patrick Mahomes, to me, is the most He is the best at a lot of different things, but watching the eye test for Mahomes for me. You talked about his first 5 years in the NFL, what he's done. That's impressive. Now, still a lot of work to do, and I think when it's all said and done, Mahomes will be up there. But if Mahomes retired right now, what would he be? Top 5, you think? Top 6?
I'd have him in my top 7, top 8.
And that's right now. He still has another...
And I'd be willing to put him over Aaron Rodgers in my top.
And he still has another, 13 years?
So,
14 years
I want
if he
you
plays?
to erase Patrick Mahomes from your memory.
Okay.
10 years ago, who was Patrick Mahomes?
You said 4 years ago.
10.
Oh, 10 years ago.
Who was Patrick Mahomes? Think about it. We just talked about him. Aaron Rodgers.
That was it.
The best arm talent in the NFL. Wait, my favorite. The most beautiful passer, thrower of the football I've ever seen him. That was the conversation.
The most accurate, yeah.
Doesn't throw interceptions. I don't care if Tom Brady wins 6 Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest talent I've seen in my life. That is the conversation that was happening for the last 10 years. So, getting back to Tom, I don't want to hear it. He's the greatest quarterback.
Definitely.
Ever.
And I think the longevity is the most impressive
is unrepeatable, just like with LeBron.
Yes.
You will never see again an NFL quarterback play at that level for 23 years. You will never see another NBA player play at the level LeBron has for these 20 years. And do me a favor, every single one of you, enjoy it. Stop comparing. Stop arguing. Because this era of sticking with a team or being there for 15, 20, playing in the league that long at a high level, it's done. It's not happening anymore. Why? I wish I knew the exact answer.
Mm-hmm.
But what I know for a fact is Tom Brady retiring yesterday is a chapter closed on the NFL, a chapter closed on my lifetime, obviously, and yours as well,
right.
On most people's lifetime. It's a chapter closed to one of the greatest careers in NFL history, arguably the most accomplished, but you have to remember he leads the NFL all-time in yards, touchdowns, completions, and he broke 2 records this past season, playing in his 23rd season at age 45.
Yeah.
So I love Patrick Mahomes, excellent. Love Joe Burrow at the moment, excellent. You don't get to have that conversation just because they win a Super Bowl or that they don't. Are they great players or not? Are they great players or not? How many NFC title games, and I know you'll make fun of the Packers, but how many title games did they get to? Are you going to look back and say that wasn't successful? Was it disappointing that you never got back to a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? I'm willing to have that conversation. But by definition, your definition of success to me is extremely volatile and unrealistic. Do I expect Victor Wembanyama, I love this one, to be the next LeBron James? What? The greatest player ever? Arguably? Oh, the leading point getter in NBA history. Or at age 38, he'll lead the league in minutes. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I don't think that's fair.
No,
how about I
it's
just
not.
judge the player for who he is, how he plays, and the era he plays in, and I leave it at that. I hope we learn that lesson with Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's not just the NFL. It's all across.
You can go any sport.
Yeah, that's every sport.
You're not going to see Jeter again in the MLB.
No.
Bryce Harper wasn't going to stay in Washington all his life.
Right.
He wasn't going to be, hey, captain, go to hockey. Even Connor McDavid, who is unbelievable. The day might come, he leaves. Now, in hockey, it's probably one of the sports that still has that culture to it, that tradition, where you can get away with it, but there aren't those top players anymore, to be honest. There used to be a time where Joe Sakic, Steve Yzerman, you name them, they were all Jágr, Jaromír Jágr. All these guys used to be in the league at the same time. Now you have one generational talent in the NHL. It's Connor McDavid, nobody else. It's not even close. Everybody else is just really good. That's great. But only Connor McDavid will be held in those conversations.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Production, awards, yada, yada, yada. But I don't need to watch Connor McDavid play another 3 years for me to figure out he's one of the greatest players I've ever watched. Just like Ovechkin came in the league and dominated day one. Oh, yeah, he's going to be great.
Yeah, when you know, you know. Like watching Mahomes, I know.
I don't need to reserve myself to say Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks I've seen.
No, he's he does things that other quarterbacks can't do, and it is what it is.
Not can't do, haven't done.
Can't and haven't.
Big difference. Nobody has done what he's done. 5 starts in his NFL career, 5 full seasons, 5 AFC title games. He hosted all of them, which means he was dominant in the regular season, likely to win his 2nd MVP this year. Now going to his 3rd Super Bowl.
And you lose arguably.
Now, if the Lions, the Texans, anybody in the next 5 years drafts a quarterback, any team, do they need to get to 5 title games in 5 years? Do they need to get the 3 Super Bowls and 5 starts to be considered great? See where I'm going with
You have to
this?
win a Super Bowl every 2.5 years?
It's not going to happen.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
Joe Burrow getting to a Super Bowl, his first full season as a starter,
It's unreal.
it's never happened before.
Yeah, it's...
The number 1 overall pick has never, prior to Joe Burrow, never gotten to an NFC or AFC title game in year 2, let alone a goddamn Super Bowl. He did both.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
No.
It's a data point you don't take into account.
Not
because
yeah.
it's an anomaly. And just enjoy them.
Even Peyton Manning, Trevor Lawrence, like, guys typically struggle. Joe Burrow said, hold my beer. Let me get to the Super Bowl. It is unreal. Even Tom Brady, I mean, for people chasing Tom to see that he has 7 Super Bowls, for a long time it was Montana with, 4? Now it's like, here's Tom with 7. Good luck. It's like, I don't believe in you have to get
That's
close
like
to
saying
7 to
you
even
can't
be in
lose
that
in the
conversation.
NBA Finals because Michael Jordan didn't lose.
It's different eras.
It's only one data point, though.
I mean,
It's only one data point. If Tom Brady needed to be the greatest by winning more Super Bowls than Montana, that's a flawed data point.
right. Because if you're going to bring that up, bring up who they faced in the finals.
Because
that
if
matters.
Mahomes gets to 5 Super Bowls in his entire career, and is 4-1 or 3-2 even, and he finishes with more yards, more touchdowns, higher completion percentage, fewer interceptions, on more attempts and more completions than Tom Brady, what? It's because he's not better?
right.
Or he wasn't good enough? Or that Tom wasn't fortunate for a goal line interception? Or that Tom wasn't fortunate for a 28-3 comeback?
Yeah.
Where the Falcons just totally decided not to run the football?
It's
It's
the same thing with
everything in context has pros and cons. So I just leave it.
And it's the same thing with LeBron, too. Like, and this is what frustrates me. And listen, I got a lot of respect for LeBron. I call me whatever you want. Still think MJ's the greatest, but you look at the criticism of LeBron. It's, yeah, he's been to 10 finals, but look at what he
Think about that.
Look at who he's
50% of the time. Imagine me criticizing somebody for getting to the promised land half of his career, and he came up short more than half.
And it's like, well, he has more losses than Jordan. Okay, if we're gonna do that, then let's bring up the two of the dynasties that LeBron faced, the Spurs and the Warriors, and let's look up the teams that Jordan faced. Not that you're trying to discredit Jordan, but you can't. Like, to your point, it's different eras. You appreciate each player in each of their era, and you move on. I don't think you can knock players. I think the context matters, and for Patrick Mahomes, there's no doubt watching him play right now, he's the most talented quarterback ever. But Tom Brady's the most accomplished quarterback. He's longevity, everything in between. But this is why we love sports, because you can debate it all day long.
The debate part of it, I don't mind. If you guys want to argue for LeBron, against him, I don't mind. For Brady, against Brady, for Mahomes, against... I mean, we did this leading up to the title game. I was leaning Joe Burrow. You were leaning Patrick Mahomes. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Cordial, fun debate. No problem. But we really got to appreciate what we're watching. Is Joe Burrow a failure because he didn't get to the Super Bowl this year? The Bengals had a failure of a season for getting to a title game for the 2nd consecutive year? Really? Maybe it's because I grew up in a football town where they've never hosted a home playoff game at their current stadium. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I feel this way. I don't know. But all I know is if you gave me 4 NFC title appearances in a 7-year vacuum, or 6 NFC title appearances in a 13-year vacuum, that I wouldn't be walking around like a spoiled bitch complaining. Would love to win divisions. Would love to win playoff games. Play meaningful games. You play the game. That's the beauty of it. You got to play it. You don't just get to show up and win. You got to play. And that's the beauty of sports. Right? You show up, you got to win. You got to play.
Got to compete.
Just like the team across from you. So, yeah, maybe it's my bias towards this town. I don't know. But I also grew up with the Red Wings dynasty. And the Tigers being one of the best teams in baseball not to win a championship. And the Pistons winning a championship, going to 6 consecutive conference finals. So you kind of know what winning is like in this town. Now, for your football team, maybe not. Maybe hopefully you get there pretty soon. But the point is, disappointment and failure are 2 very different things. You can be disappointed in not accomplishing your goal. But is Peyton Manning's career a failure? Tom Brady? He's the anomaly. But Drew Brees, his career a failure?
Especially how he looked late.
I'm
no.
asking you.
No,
is
not.
It a failure?
No, it's not a failure.
Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Dan Marino? Ovechkin prior to winning the Stanley Cup a few years ago?
No, I wouldn't say he's a failure. I don't want to
See
go
what I
that
mean?
far. I
You
think
see
that's a
what I
little.
mean?
That's too much.
But
no.
do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's the bar set, and you're looking at
You
other
can
quarterbacks.
set that bar and you can shove it up your ass.
But
for
it
all I
doesn't
care.
mean your career is a failure, to your point. I mean, it's just, if we're going to say Aaron Rodgers now, if you're looking in context of chasing Tom, yes, it's a failure. But for Aaron's career, you know how many quarterbacks would take that career? Every single one starting,
how many
besides
coaches-
probably 3 in the NFL right now.
Think about how many coaches have had winning records, won division titles, and they haven't been to 1 NFC title game or AFC title game. Kyle's been to 3 of the last 4. Andy Reid's been to 5 straight. Andy Reid, again, will never catch Bill in Super Bowls. Never. Andy Reid will never catch Bill Belichick in Super Bowls. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But does that make him any less of an all-time great coach than what he is right now? If he loses this Super Bowl, having gone to his 4th Super Bowl in his career, is he a failure?
No.
Are the Bills in the 90s going to 4 straight Super Bowls a failure?
Depends.
You can argue, yes, they should have won at least one.
They should have won
but
one.
It's disappointing more than a failure
Yes.
to get to the damn Super Bowl.
And you got there 4 times. I mean, that's...
And lost the same way 2 out of the 4.
I know.
God.
I know. Depends what context you're looking at it.
Well, look, that was fun. Let's take a break.
But I'll take 4 Super Bowl appearances
Let's take a break consecutively.
for Detroit Lions fans. I think we'll take that.
Let's take a break. When we get back, Jeff, this is about you. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you're going to try to sell me on the idea that the Pistons are not going to let me down. I still have faith,
Sound your voice of reason? Okay.
but I'm coming to you in confidence. I need some talk. I need some wisdom here. Okay.
Okay.
So I
Put
expect
my
you to
therapy
deliver.
hat on.
This is a therapy session.
I got you.
When we get back, but before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. That's where I'll be after the show because, my goodness, I look like a grizzly bear. Having said that, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me as always. So what are you waiting for? Get to a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Tell you about my good friends over at Matrix Home Solutions. We'll be down there this Friday, tomorrow. Woo! With Big D Energy and Armani and Edwards from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the grand opening of Matrix Home
exciting.
Solutions in Plymouth. Come check them out. all that Matrix does and have your chance at winning multiple awesome prizes along with getting autographs from Braylon Edwards and Darren McCarty. We'll see you guys tomorrow in Plymouth, 41303 Concept Drive, Plymouth, Michigan. Make sure you come check us out. We'll be live from 11 to 4 and come meet the team.
Can't wait. Super excited.
Shut the hell up, Fish.
Fish, I'm excited too.
There's no excitement allowed on this show.
Yeah, no smiling. Absolutely
smiling.
not.
You know what I'm excited for tonight?
What's that?
The NFL skills competition. Said nobody.
Oh, good. I enjoy that sarcasm.
Yeah,
Good job.
I will not be watching that.
Nobody will.
No.
Except Jeff.
Pobo.
I will probably tap into. You're not tapping into the NHL one tomorrow? That one's fun.
No. I haven't watched an all-star weekend for any of the major sports in maybe 7-8 years.
The hockey, the basketball, the baseball,
Never.
they're fine because they're live. They're live and they're fine. I don't even know if the football one tonight's live.
No, never.
And they're doing. Who cares about? It's football, right? This is the football Pro Bowl. I don't want to see these people golfing. This is football, not golf. I'm watching a football Pro Bowl. It's supposed to be throwing the football.
That's good form.
Tackling, running.
Can you throw that football again? It was really good form. All right, dropping back.
That.
Fish, I don't know, man. You put Fish side by side with Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's got that.
Son of a bitch.
I don't want to see them
got the intangibles.
golfing. I want to see them throwing a football.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got the
Or
There you
running.
go. Can you give me a
Or
hot
doing
read
that
Omaha?
A hot
Can you make a change at the line of scrimmage?
What's your cadence? Let's
What's
go.
your cadence, buddy?
Inside. Kill. Back right. And hold up. And kill it. Back. Shotgun. Hike.
All right, Fish, you got penalized for a delayed game. Jesus Christ.
That was just inside the time.
Well done.
Yeah, that was a 45-second. Yeah, that was.
Well done, Fish.
Sorry, Fish.
Well done, Fish.
I don't want to see them play golf.
I
Like
know.
the dodgeball one's actually fine because you got to throw a ball. It's football related. You got to catch it. Receivers catching. I get that. Not golf.
I know, buddy. I know. Well, look. Let's move on. Jeff?
They can do that in their free time during the off season.
Well, look, the Pro Bowl shit, and that's why no one's going to watch it. So, Jeff?
I want to see Tyler Huntley. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well,
2
and
touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Hey, did you see a bunch of Detroit Lions going off over Jared Goff being in the Pro Bowl?
No.
What do you mean? Bunch of Detroit? What did you say? Detroit Lions?
Well,
going on?
Lions fans, I should
fans,
say,
yeah.
on the Twitters going off about Jared
Fish,
Goff as the Pro Bowl.
Making the Pro Bowl.
I know that.
Making the Pro Bowl means nothing. Number 1. 2, shut the hell up.
I
we got a
wanted
segment to do. We're 7 minutes behind because of you. You and your damn delay a game, all right?
All right, talk to me. What's your
Jeff?
What's on your mind?
I don't need definitives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need this must happen. I just want you to talk me off a ledge and tell me why the hell I should give the Detroit Pistons any more time, any more thought, any more care until next season when Cade comes back. Because I look at this roster and it's awful.
Why do you say that?
Because Alec Burks, Kevin Knox, Marvin Bagley, Killian Hayes, and you know what, Hayes I'll put on the side because I do like how he's developed.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Joseph. Do you want me to continue with that horrible bench? Hamidou Diallo. It's awful. Sadiq Bey regressing in his 3rd year. Wasn't expecting that. Jalen Duren, arguably your 2nd best player on the team right now. That's awesome.
Okay.
Jaden Ivey, rookie, still learning the ropes, no problem. Bojan Bogdanovic, old, and is your best player. Walk me through the moves you need to see to have confidence, because if you're confident, I'll be confident, obviously.
Yeah.
So what needs to happen this offseason? I'm not asking for a top 10 player in free agency. I'm not asking for you to go trade for a Donovan Mitchell like the Cavs did. But walk me through a scenario where you're going into next year, a healthy Cade Cunningham, and he's got the support he needs to showcase that he's the number 1, he's the alpha on this team.
I don't think this roster is as far off, because listen, I'm the guy who's strapped in a chair watching this team every time they play. I mean, truthfully, I'm strapped in my chair. I ain't going nowhere. Eyes are peeled open, and I'm watching the games. Now, the roster isn't complete. We can all acknowledge that. But there's certainly players that I like, especially on the bench. Like you brought up Burks. I actually like Burks. He's one of the better players, a veteran. He can shoot the ball. He can start, come off the bench. And the Pistons bench for a majority of the season has been their strength. So the bench I don't mind. There's still going to have to be players added. But if you're talking about why should I still watch the Pistons, I don't got much for you, but the one thing that keeps me in tuned and want to watch these games are the young players. Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes, even Sadiq to an extent, Isaiah Stewart, these guys. Because the question here on the prep sheet is, what can the Pistons do to become relevant? It's an easy answer. These guys got to turn into stars. Like, you need Jaden Ivey to become. Well,
that's what you're banking on.
That's what has to happen.
I think the surprise star that probably ends up being one is Duren.
Yes. You can have
Ivy, we expect to be a star, and that's why we talked about it's a 3 to 4 year process before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
But damn it, win some games.
And again,
have an identity. Forget winning games. I don't want to win. Have an identity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the Lions had last year? The 3-13-1 season. They had an identity. You saw it in Arizona. You saw it in Denver, even to an extent. You saw it against the Packers. They had an identity. Now, were they talented enough to win games? Were they polished? Were they matured enough to start stringing along consecutive wins? No. Went into the offseason, made some moves, got off to an inexcusable start, but finally the identity they built paid off. They stopped turning the ball over. Right. They started forcing takeaways. They started playing better defense, and suddenly their identity, what they embody in their coach, is now resulting in wins.
And that's what's different about the NBA is it's not common. You can bring up the Grizzlies, but that philosophy and what they do was preached while Ja Morant was there. So with Cade, it's a little different. You have a young team. You have 2 rookies starting. And then he goes down. And I know it's an answer you don't like to hear and people typically don't like to hear, but Cade was the identity. And when he went out, Ivy, Duren, when Duren eventually got in the starting lineup, they had to figure out their identity without their franchise player. That's tough to do, especially when 2 rookies you're leaning on mostly. And then you added some veterans, and those guys got back. I know Bagley's hurt now. They haven't had a complete roster fully healthy. But still, to your point about the identity, all that stuff gets addressed in the offseason because what they need to do, clearly, if you're watching these games, is get guys that can play defense. And there's going to be guys available, not only that can play defense, that can shoot the ball. That's what you do in the offseason. That's what this team needs. You need guys that can call out players on the court defensively. Love Burks, love Bojan. They're great offensive players, but those guys aren't your vocal leaders on defense. Those guys aren't putting guys in the right positions, calling guys out on effort. Like that's someone you bring in like a Grant Williams or whoever it is. I mean, there's going to be plenty of guys available in free agency, but that's what they got to address. They have money available, and you brought up that they don't have to make a Donovan Mitchell trade. The great thing is about what they're doing right now is they have the flexibility to do that. So I don't really want to limit what they can do. You got to make some additions this offseason, specifically on the defensive side. Got to get some more length, especially at the wing position. We'll see what they do in the draft. There's still a lot of work to do with this roster, but as long as these guys keep developing, even next season, let's say they make minimal moves. Let's say they add 2 veterans in the offseason. They add Grant Williams and somebody else. They draft whoever they draft, top 3. Next season, if Ivy improves and goes into year 2 and makes that jump, Jalen Duren improves, Cade comes back and looks like he looked before he got hurt, this team will already be better by default. So the Pistons are, I know it's hard to pitch this, but they're still on the right track. Now, you got to make a change at head coach, which is coming. He's clearly not going to be here for the future.
What if
they're a couple moves away. They really are, and they'll probably do that this offseason.
What if I told you that you brought up the Grizzlies, right? They have Ja Morant. It's a top 5, top 6, top 7 player in the NBA.
Absolutely.
Right now. It's one of the best players in the NBA. You know what he was doing through his first 2 seasons in the NBA? He's putting up 18, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. 18 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. 18, I'll just say 18, 4, and 7. Fair? You know what Cade Cunningham has done through his first 2 seasons, granted he's been injured? 18, 6, and 6. You have that type of player. Is he Ja Morant? Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Is he as explosive? No. Does Cade Cunningham shoot 31% from 3? Sure. But so did John Morant his first 2 seasons. So you can sell me on development and having star players.
That's what the league is.
Absolutely.
Right. You need star players.
But when we talk about $40 million, $50 million available, that all means nothing if Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham aren't the 2 best players on this team 2 years from now.
Which I think they will be. So it starts with those guys.
And then you can talk to me about role players. Then you can talk to me if you want to use Milwaukee as an example. You know, having your version, not specifically or identically, but your version of Drew Holiday, your version of Grayson Allen, your version of Brook Lopez, right? Role players. Guys that hit PJ Tucker. Role players that can hit the 3 ball, play defense, rebound. Okay, play defense. Oh, that's a big one. Let me say that again. Play defense. That'd be nice. And do I think a coaching change solves a lot of it? Sure. But the health of Cade Cunningham and the progress of both of them, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's you have no hope. And that's why I don't even like the idea of you picking in the top 3. Now, if you land the number 1 overall pick and you're talking about a generational type player, be my guest. Have at it. But that's just another, we got to wait. Because Luka Doncic's don't come out every year. John Morant, we're all talking about Ja being one of the best. Took him his 3rd year to be a 27-point scorer in the NBA. Luka came in day 1 and did it.
Yeah, he's talking about comparing players.
We're talking about different type of players.
Yeah, he's a different player.
So if you tell me Wembanyama walks in 20 and 12 day 1. Okay.
Or Paolo Banchero, 20 points day 1.
Okay. Now you're talking to me. And that's why you draft them that high.
But even that's why the NBA is different from the NFL, because the NBA, your top 10 selections, or the top 10 selections of the NBA draft, you could find a guy that could come in and contribute right away. I mean, in the top 10 picks, they even picking at, let's say, 10, which they aren't going to do, but let's say you're picking at 10. Your goal in the NFL, if you're picking at 10, you could still find a star, a superstar even. The NBA, you can do that, but more so and more often it turns into role players or significant role players. I mean, you found Sadiq at, 19, if I'm not mistaken, and he's a career 15-point scorer. So, again, I don't want to rule out if you don't get Victor, this team is screwed. There's still plenty of talent in the draft. We'll see what they do. I like Brandon Miller a lot. I keep mentioning that, but that's if you pick 3. We'll see. But I don't think taking whoever they take this year is going to destroy what progress they've made. Maybe you have to, if everyone else is more farther along, maybe the guy you take top 3, there's a little grooming that needs to be had. Maybe he doesn't just get thrown into the starting lineup. But you're absolutely going to take what production your number 3 overall pick
And let's say it's Scoot Henderson.
Okay,
in theory. Well, I'm not saying anybody on this team is as good at the guard position defensively as Marcus Smart. But Marcus Smart is the ball operator on that team. He does lead them in assists, and he has been. Now, does that dynamic work with Ivy and Cade? I don't know. But you got to find somebody that can come in and make it work, regardless of who you draft.
Yeah, and I'm curious what their ideology is. Best player available or the player that fits what you're looking for? I'm curious. And we'll see with the lottery coming up.
All right, let's take a break. When we get back, any regrets from the 2022 NFL Draft? Looking back, who the Lions missed on, could have drafted. We'll get to that. Top of the hour, 9 o'clock, NFL Free Agent Spotlight, Lions edition, of course. 2 players Jeff and I believe the Lions should consider pursuing, yes or no? You'll find out top of the hour. 9:15, Derek Carr to the Niners, Jimmy G leaving, and Aaron Rodgers staying put in Green Bay. What does it mean for Detroit? We'll get to that. 9:30 is the NFL scripted. I got my script today. Apparently, I'm going to get run over by a car. So, enjoy. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be right back. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Let me tell you about them, guys. Cintron is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling, flavored energy beverages and premium bottled water. Cintron is fashionable, functional, and fun. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at drinkcintron.com. Cintron is also available at Amazon.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway. all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Three NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about my friends at Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. 2022 NFL Draft. Looking back, in hindsight, only a year. Some of these players that we think are going to miss could be very good in the NFL. We don't know. But after one season, let's go pick by pick. Pick number 2. Did the Lions make the right choice with Adham Hutchinson at number 2 overall? Would you have taken another player in that spot, Jeff?
Yeah, they messed up bad. I think, you should have won.
Your sarcasm is horrible.
I know. Yeah, no, they nailed it. Adham Hutchinson, the best player in the draft, fell to him at 2. They didn't mess it up, and it was unbelievable, man. Just seeing their draft live, too, at Brass Rail, you could really feel in the entire – even though some people were on the edge with Kayvon or Aiden, no one disagreed with the pick. Everyone was happy to have Aiden.
I think the only player you could make a case for is Sauce Gardner.
I would agree. I think Sauce, if you want to make a legitimate argument, that's fine, but I'll take Aiden.
I'm still taking Aiden.
I'm taking
Give me
Aiden.
my pass rusher.
That's the cocaine.
Yep. I need my pass
before
rusher.
the draft. So
pick number 12. This is dicey. I love Jameson Williams' upside. I love it. You saw what he could do just from bits and pieces throughout the season towards the end of it. Explosive, dynamic, big-time playmaker. But you could have had, in the first round, Jordan Davis. You could have had Trent McDuffie. You could have had Devin Lloyd, Dax Hill, George Karlaftis. Notable first-round picks that were very successful their first year in the NFL. I'm going to say, as much as Jordan Davis is enticing, I like the receiver pick. You needed another receiver, and had you told me going into the draft the Lions would end up with Aiden and Jameson Williams, I would have taken both middle fingers. I would have shoved them in your face and told you, get lost. You know why? Because you could have argued before the draft Aiden was the number 1 defensive player coming out, and Jameson Williams was the number 1 offensive player coming out. Jameson Williams tore his ACL. There's a reason why he fell. He fell right to you at 12. You traded up to get him. To be determined, yes, but I don't think I'm ready to say I would change the pick. I'm pretty happy with it.
It's hard.
Trent McDuffie's pulling my heartstrings though.
Oh, I don't. None of these dudes are touching it. Sorry, Jameson Williams to me, if he hits the pinnacle or the ceiling we think he can get to,
well, that's an unknown. I don't know that.
But same with the other players.
But in hindsight of what you've seen so far. That's
the flashes I've seen
with
Jameson are enough to solidify what I thought of him before the draft. But I think I
could make a hard sell for you. I could make a pretty good pitch. You don't have to agree. But I think I could sell you on the idea of Jordan Davis in the interior, or Trent McDuffie lining up at corner instead of Jerry Jacobs, Mike Hughes, and Jeff Okudah. I'm just saying. Again, I would agree. I would stick with the pick. But you can't tell me it's a surefire just like Adham Hutchinson. You can't be that confident.
No,
maybe you are.
Listen, but you can pitch all you want, all right? You could be a door-to-door salesman. I'm still going to slam the door in your face. So I got no problem. Jameson, I get he hasn't played a ton, but the upside, to me, out of all the players you named, Jameson, if he hits what we think he can be, and you're right, you haven't seen a ton, but the value of having a number 1 superstar receiver in this league is everything. More valuable than the players you named, in my opinion. So Jameson, to me, no problem. He's going to be a tremendous player. And so looking back, it's too early, but in 5 years,
just for now,
5 years from now,
definitive.
You'll look back and be like, great pick. in my opinion.
Pick number 46, second round pick. This is where I it's interesting. Who would you take if you would, looking back, over Josh Pascal? And you can only go by who was taken in that round, not someone in the third or fourth or fifth round. In the second round, players that went after Josh Pascal: Jaquan Brisker, of note, Cam Jurgens, George Pickens, Alec Pierce, Sky Moore, Trey McBride, Drake Jackson, and James Cook, Nick Benito. George Pickens probably the best season among all those players, offensively, defensively. You could pitch me on Sam Williams was pretty solid actually in Dallas.
But he got in trouble with the law.
But it's Jaquan Brisker, sure, but you got Kirby Joseph, and I don't think anybody's changing that one. So honestly, the second round was just meh.
Yeah,
after.
I think that's
before,
fair.
My God. My God. Christian Watson, Roger McCreary, Breece Hall, Jalen Petrie, Edebike, Kyler Gordon, Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker, Andrew Booth, John Mechie, who's injured obviously, but David Ojabo, all before Josh Pascal. So you were like 3-4 picks away from getting a really damn good player, but in that second round, I don't think I change it. I want to, but I don't think anybody enticing enough on that list.
And I would agree. I think the fact that you got Kirby makes it a little easier to digest. Yeah, so I would agree with you. It's not, it's not. There's no pizzazz with it. It's probably just meh as of right now. But hey, it's more depth on your defensive line, and you've seen some flashes out of Pascal. I gotta wait on that. But so far, it's not like I'm pounding the table to argue Josh Pascal was the perfect pick.
He wasn't the best of the bunch, but the bunch after him in the second round wasn't special either.
The only one I would argue would be Jaquan, but to your point, you got Kirby.
So I gotta take it into consideration. Third round pick. Here we go. This is where it gets fun. In the third round, Detroit selects Kirby Joseph at pick number 97.
And you know how we feel about this. He was in our mock drafts for weeks.
There is nobody. And there's two really good players. Hell, you could even argue three with upside. Brian Robinson Jr., running back out of Washington. Leo Chenal, linebacker in Kansas City. And you can even argue Majai Sanders out in Arizona. Upside. Nothing special. Didn't really dominate his rookie year, but still, beyond the point. I don't think there's anybody in the third round in its entirety. Not Nakobe Dean. Definitely not Malik Willis. Not Greg Duluth. Desmond Ridder. Jelani Woods. Chad Muma. Brian Asamoah. Nobody I would take over Kirby Joseph in the third round. In the third round, in my opinion, Kirby Joseph was the best player selected in the 2022 NFL Draft. Fair?
Fair.
I was hoping we'd disagree a little bit, but
no,
clearly not.
Kirby to me, yeah, he checks all those boxes. I got no problem.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's funny because he was him and Jaquan were the two safeties.
Yep.
Two guys we kept putting in our mock drafts. It came to life. So no problem with Kirby. He's a home run.
All right, let's go to Detroit in the fifth round. James Mitchell.
Now this is where it gets a little dicey.
Could you have traded up? It's the fifth round. Ain't much here. Tyler Algier, I think the best player to come out in the fifth round of this draft class. Running back out of Atlanta. You go to the sixth round, Malcolm Rodriguez. Was he the best sixth round draft pick? That's a conversation I'm willing to have. Would I change it? No. Because the best player to come out of the sixth round was actually James Houston.
And Malcolm Rodriguez, you could argue,
was number two.
And you took them both.
The Lions got the two best players in the sixth round, in my opinion. I don't think anybody has more upside or delivered as much day one other than Malcolm and James Houston in the sixth round of that draft class.
The only argument I would make,
go for it,
and they would have to trade up. So staying put, I think James Mitchell, I don't have an issue with it, but to know that Tariq Woolen went 20 picks earlier.
Where?
He was in the fifth round.
Oh, in the fifth. Well, they didn't have.
But they'd have to trade up. But again,
I can't. No, with the James.
Then
Mitchell
never
one.
mind. Then I'm cool with James Mitchell. You nailed it. Afterwards, the only two picks you're interested in are James Houston and Malcolm. You got them both regardless. So.
And then in the seventh round, honestly, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't really either. So I mean,
to be honest with you,
yeah, Chase Lucas to me, he's
nice
fine.
kid.
Yeah,
dog in him. That's all great. Brock Purdy probably the best of the bunch. Not saying much.
Definitely.
But, maybe Isaiah Pacheco, actually. He's got to be it.
Yeah.
I think if you were to vote, he would be the guy. But looking back, I think you're pretty happy with the NFL draft. I think you're happy. I don't think you have any regrets. A few things you'd like to reconsider. But I don't think you missed completely on any pick. And it's tough for me to say you missed on Pascal when everybody after him in the second round wasn't significantly better, right? It's not like you missed on Kenneth Walker. And if Tariq Woolen was a second-round pick and you went after Josh Pascal, well, then, yeah, I would make the case. But I can't because he was a fifth-round pick. Fair?
And it was 20 picks above where you selected. So.
Fair enough?
Yeah, fair enough. Imagine that. Back-to-back drafts. You really don't have an issue with what Brad Holmes is doing. Isn't that new?
Well,
very new.
We didn't do 2021 last year, but there's a few. But we'll take a break. Well done. I liked it. I enjoyed that a lot. I hope you all did at home as well. When we get back, we'll go to free agency. Jeff and I will have a player spotlight for both of you, or excuse me, all of you. And it is 2 players at 2 positions the Lions clearly need help at. We'll get to that coming up next. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Well, guys, we talk about drafting defense. I got a defense for you that's reliable. It's Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring anytime, day or night. Guardian Alarm, a team member, will stay on the phone with you for as long as you need. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for more information.
Bye.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, let me tell you about our good friends over at the Monroe Street Midway. All right, downtown all winter long. Winter bumper cars, indoor arcades, puck putt, you name it, they've got it. Treat your family, treat your friends. Go downtown. Foods and drinks, of course, shop, eat, and play all winter long with our good friends from Bedrock, Detroit, downtown at the Monroe Street Midway. Jeff, we're back. Top of the hour. NFL free agency spotlight. I'm going to enjoy this one. You want to start at linebacker or corner? That's the option today.
We'll save the best for last. We'll go linebacker first.
Ooh, so corner's the best for last. I like that, Jeff.
It's got to be.
We agree. I like it. Lavonte David. Tom Brady retiring. Tampa Bay clearly going into a rebuild. Lavonte David probably looking ahead somewhere. Either A, he gets paid, or B, he can contend to win a Super Bowl. Having said that, let's look at this type of player. This is the type of player you want, you need. Where do Alex Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez struggle? Pass coverage.
Right.
Where do Malcolm Rodriguez and Alex Anzalone also struggle? Attacking the quarterback, filling the holes, the gaps. I don't want my safeties and corners getting 70, 80, 90 tackles. That's not ideal. That means they're breaking my front seven. It's not ideal. So, addressing the linebacker position, would you want to sign Lavonte David? I'll leave that to all of you in the chat. I want to talk about the player and the impact he would make. And I think it'd be a significant one, Jeff.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well. I mean, even on PFF, I know, take it for what you wish or however you want, how you value PFF, but he has an 88.5 coverage grade, and to your point, overall, he's a solid linebacker, can do a lot of different things for you, brings that veteran leadership, he's won a Super Bowl, he's played at a high level. I know he's a little older, but that might even help you in terms of how much you pay him. So it depends on what Lavonte wants to do. If he wants to chase a Super Bowl, maybe Detroit isn't the most ideal, but you get to play for Aaron Glenn, who knows. I like it. I wouldn't mind Lavonte David. I think he would certainly help out this linebacker core, and he just fits what I'm looking for. Guy who knows what it takes, guys that can hold guys accountable. He's played at a high level. I know he played pretty well last year for the Bucs, and yeah, give me Lavonte David. I'm all for it. I wouldn't mind it at all.
So, can we at least agree? If you go out and sign one free agent player, and I say he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you're going to have the money to go sign a second one. I don't see it. It doesn't add up. Because you got 2 first-round picks you need to pay at picks 6 and 18, which are pretty decent salaries. You have 2 second-round picks you're going to want to pay, and a third-round pick, and the rest of the draft that you have. Along with either re-signing Jamal Williams and re-signing possibly DJ Chark. I don't know what the Lions are going to do on that one. Re-signing John Kaminsky. So the money, although it's available, it's there to keep, and then 24 is where you can get very aggressive in the market. I think you can only get away with signing one player, but that's beyond this point. That's beyond the whole segment, really. Let's move on to the second player. Love this player. But I'm not paying him. I'm not paying him, Jeff. You know why?
Why?
I got picks 6 and 18. If I can't walk away with Joey Porter Jr., if I can't walk away with Devon Witherspoon, I might as well walk up to the Eiffel Tower and jump off.
But even if you draft
because I'm going to pay James Bradberry fuck you money. Because he deserves it. He deserves it. He's been excellent this year.
He really has. He's been
excellent. If you're going to go for a guy like that, he's going to cost a nice penny. A pretty penny, I think is the saying, right? Somebody help me? I'm horrible with sayings. Anyways, beyond the point. I've got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. If I can't walk away, you can even go back to the Lavonte David argument. If I can't walk away with a stud corner, I don't know what I did this draft. Now, do I think they need to go out and get a veteran corner who can communicate, be the leader on the field for that secondary? I do. Do I think Tracy Walker coming back next year, hopefully very healthy, will be instrumental to this defense? I do. But that's beyond reality right now. Reality is the Lions suck at corner. And I don't mind you going out and getting one, but not at that price tag, Jeff.
Especially for the role he'd be playing for you.
He's your one.
Yeah, and he's going to want money like a one. And I don't blame him.
Played like a one this year.
He's had at least 2 interceptions in every season but 1 in his career. He's productive. I mean, if we're going back to PFF, he had an 80 coverage grade. He's solid. But to your point, whether his intentions are signing with a team that can win a Super Bowl for taking less money. If he comes to Detroit, he's going to want more money. And I don't know if the Lions will have it available. If we're talking about bringing back all the players we talk about, your entire draft class, you're going to have minimal money. And I don't think they're going to fork a lot of it up to James Bradberry. Love the player. I just don't think it makes financial sense for the Lions. But we'll see. I don't see him taking a discount.
I don't mean to go off what we were supposed to do here, but if I look at all the corners in this free agency class, James Bradberry probably going to pull in the most money, I would say.
Yeah, he's probably one of the better corners.
I don't think Marcus Peters is going to pull what he got last year again. I don't think Bradley Roby, maybe he gets close to Bradberry, but I think Bradberry is the highest paid corner.
He will.
Coming out of this class. That, to me, untouchable, very difficult to pay. So, what are my options? Kyle Fuller? Eli Apple? God, no. Emmanuel Mosley?
Eli Apple.
Probably staying in San Francisco. Cameron Sutton? Maybe.
Those guys now, the middle
Patrick
of the
Peterson,
middle of
veteran,
the pack guys. Patrick Peterson,
a veteran who had 5
Sutton.
receptions this year with Minnesota.
Yeah,
that's a veteran presence you would want. But I think what I'm going to settle for, we talked about a linebacker and a corner today, okay? Just get me one or the other that's a vet and that is going to be my communicator.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? The Bengals, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, just to name a few, rolled out rookie secondary players and had no issue on defense. Now, they have their holes, they have mistakes. Of course, Trent McDuffie wasn't perfect. Tariq Woolen wasn't perfect throughout the whole year. You make it work.
Yeah.
You can coach. If you can communicate, if you got players that can communicate on the field, and you have veterans that have been there, done that, you can insert those rookies, and by the end of the year, they'll be pros too. They may struggle early. They may hit early. All rookies are different. But I would be confident in a linebacker or a corner in the free agency period, along with drafting a corner, a linebacker in the first 2 rounds.
I agree. Yeah, I think especially corner, whoever you bring in, you're going to need someone you can rely on. Because if you don't sign anybody, let's say you go into next season with probably 1 or 2 rookies, Jeff Okudah, Mike Hughes, Jerry Jacobs, like not too many names that you can, unless you re-sign, I guess, Mike, who seemed to be relied on late in the season. Not too many guys who can say, all right, I trust this man to do his job consistently. I mean, so you got to get somebody, and whoever that is, I think it'll be more on the middle of the pack side. You're not going to pay top dollar for a corner.
I'll tease you next Thursday's free agency spotlight. I'll give you the positions only. I won't give you the players.
Okay, give it to me.
Defensive tackle.
Okay.
Offensive guard.
Can't wait.
It's going to be fun.
See, and that's the issue you're getting to here, because with minimal money, what positions would you prefer?
Which is the most valuable position day one?
Can't get them all.
Can't get them all. You can draft them all.
Right.
But you can't get them all.
Yeah.
We'll do that next Thursday on our free agency spotlight. But when we get back, Derek Carr to the Niners? Huh? His stock just went up after Tom Brady retired. Jimmy G confirmed will be leaving as a free agent this offseason. Heading to New York, excuse me. Makes sense for the Jets. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, his buddy Nathaniel Hackett's in New York. They should trade draft capital for a quarterback who is aging. Who would go to a loaded AFC where the Jets are not ready to contend.
Don't tell me they wouldn't do it, though.
And he wouldn't be a top 7 quarterback in the AFC.
All that's true.
So Green Bay, call me crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this. But for the $60 million you owe, might not be a bad idea to run it back in the NFC. We talk about the Lions taking advantage of how weak the NFC is. I bet you any money the Packers are looking at it the same way. Aaron, let's restructure. Let's bring in some guys. And let's just do one more ride. The NFC's never been any weaker. The Niners have a huge quarterback problem, which we don't know how they're going to solve it yet. The Vikings are the Vikings. The Lions are the Lions, whether you like it or not. That's how they're thinking. The only team we really have to look ourselves in the mirror and say, how do we beat them, is the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody else isn't significantly better in terms of roster talent across the board than the Packers. You can like the Lions roster more than the Packers. You can say it's more talented. That's fine. But in Green Bay, you're looking at the whole NFC, the NFC as a whole. Okay, we choked our opportunity this year. If we just make a few adjustments on offense and get more consistency, guys, can we dream?
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. I'll tell you why coming up next. But before we do, I don't. Jeff, you gotta tell everybody about our good friends over at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Well, if you are like fish and you need a tan, but it's freezing outside and you can't get it, I got a place for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, because it's where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the club, the Pepper Club, for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big super party. Wait, we can't say super. We really can't say. Come join us at our super party on Sunday, February 12th, from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports Super Party? Well, our Super Party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet, DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season and enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You can try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo. But if you want breakfast as well, I got it for you. The stuffed potato pancakes are officially back. The Lumberjack, Santa Fe Garden, or Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today. All right, well, we are back here.
Things fail. All right. Anyways.
We got a water for you if you want it.
Yeah, please, water. Thank you.
You just wanted to walk up on, or?
Yeah, you can just cut to Jeff or me. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, buddy. Oh, my God. All right, now that I'm not dead, we can get started. Holy hell. I gotta reset.
Yeah, are you okay?
My man, you were down bad for a second. You're all
yeah, he got knocked out.
That was rough.
Then he got back up.
That was rough. Well, looks like the internet's down, Alex, no? Are you sure? I'm not getting anything on my end, but here we are. We're back. Derek Carr. Let me say this. I think it's a good fit in San Francisco. What it's going to cost, I don't know. But I do think it's a good fit.
You do?
Yeah. I like it. If they want to roll with Purdy, who's not going to have an elbow going into next season, and Trey Lance, who hasn't proven he can play in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. You want a proven commodity, at least.
I would move Lance. I would trade him immediately.
Wow.
And I would trade whatever picks I have to go get Derek Carr if I'm the Niners and take advantage of my Super Bowl window. Because Kittle's not going to be there another 2 years.
Well, they might cut Derek
Neither
Carr.
is Trent Williams. They might cut Derek. We don't
save
know.
all that money, but
we don't know yet.
Yeah. I would just wait and sign him if he gets cut.
If he gets cut, then hell yeah, you wait and sign him.
Then just add him.
So you look at that situation, and the NFC is just so up for grabs. And now that Tom Brady's gone, well, what do the Jets do? They hire Nathaniel Hackett because he makes Aaron Rodgers feel good. And hopefully they can attract...
Just the way you say that.
Well, it's the truth.
Makes him feel good.
He makes him feel good. That's what Aaron Rodgers' words, not mine. He said, Nathaniel was a fun coach, made me feel good. It's not my words, Aaron's words. Anyways, moving on. If I'm the Packers, I got some players on defense, man. I do. Christian Watson emerged down the stretch. I got a few things going my way. I do. But do I run it back with Aaron, Jeff, in a weak NFC, or do I just cut bait, trade him, move on with Jordan Love for a year and see if he can play football?
You cut him. You're not cut him. You trade him. You're done. This era's over with. Your argument about the NFC, I understand, but at the same time, you got to figure out what you have in Jordan Love. Like, we really don't know. And he's coming up on his rookie deal. You're going to have to make a decision soon. Aaron Rodgers, to me, he's burnt out of Green Bay. He's done. You could see it when in his play, in his eyes, when he interviews. Like, he still has a lot of love for Green Bay, but this at this point it's mutual. I think both are looking for a different opportunity. Aaron's getting to the point where he's only got a couple years left in the NFL. Well, with Tom Brady, you really don't know. But assuming Aaron only plays a couple years, the Packers aren't ready to contend right now. They just aren't. I mean, they have talent on defense, yes. They have some receivers that are promising, yes. But if he comes back next season and the Packers are still in cap hell or close to it, that roster, they went 8-9 this season. They couldn't even beat the Lions. And we listen, even at the beginning of the season when you're 1-6, you still beat the Packers at home in an ugly game. I just don't see how it makes sense. If I'm the Packers, move on from Aaron, see what you have in Jordan Love, and if you stink, then draft a quarterback next season. And there you go. There's your future. I don't think holding on to Aaron and forcing this relationship to work is not the right move. Every year it's, am I retiring? Am I leaving Green Bay? Make the decision for him. Move on. Go with Jordan Love. I'm sure Aaron wouldn't mind a scenery change. Your point about the Jets, by the way, absolutely correct. The AFC is stacked. I don't see what the Jets are going to do. Maybe they can make the playoffs, but even then, do you think Aaron Rodgers can make a deep playoff run in the AFC?
If you're a Jets fan, let me be honest here. Jets fans, talk to me.
And I talked to Abe about this. Our notable Jets fan,
Aaron Rodgers,
who comes on the show sometimes, and his reasoning was, well, Jeff, Aaron doesn't really have to do that much in New York.
You say that now.
You have a good defense.
You say that now.
You got Breece Hall. You got some receivers.
You can say that now.
But
you're, again, realistically, Aaron Rodgers would be the 7th, 8th, 9th best quarterback in the AFC? Joe Burrow, better.
Yeah.
Lamar, better.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, better.
Lamar's better. I like it. I like where you're coming.
I keep it real, Jeff.
Okay, go on.
Clearly, you don't like me for that.
Go on.
Go to the South. Trevor Lawrence is better.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is better.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell's his face? Justin Herbert's better.
Yeah, he's better.
Mahomes is better. 7 quarterbacks already better. He would be the 8th best quarterback, and I would put him over Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's garbage. I would put him as the 8th best quarterback in the AFC. Where is he in the NFC? Top 4? Top 5?
Yeah, but but look at the roster. I get the AFC's tougher, but what is he
working with? Garrett Wilson? Breece Hall? Coming off an ACL?
Better than what they have with the Packers. You kidding me? I mean, I love Christian Watson. He's nice. But you roll into next season with Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs and probably Randall Cobb, and they're saying, let's go get him. Let's go get him and make the playoffs and probably lose in the first round.
Mahomes. Let's go beat Justin Herbert. Let's go beat Trevor Lawrence. Let's go beat all these quarterbacks.
He can't even beat the 49ers with Jimmy G. He lost last season to him.
Point.
So get out.
Even when they had Devontae Adams,
they lost.
And he had it all, they lost.
Got to the
NFC.
NFC.
If you're a Jets
NFC
fan,
game versus the Bucs,
if you're a Jets fan, do you want to be a cheap whore and make a playoff appearance and then go into cap hell and probably get Robert Saleh fired and a new GM in town? Or do you want to pull up your pants, put on your work boots, get to fucking work, and figure out how the hell you're going to get a good quarterback in there? But the old-fashioned way, in the draft. And if you can't do it in the draft, go figure out how you're going to get your hands on Derek Carr. Can't get Derek Carr? Go sign Jimmy Garoppolo on a short-term stint. But you are not going to enter cap hell by trading for that fuck who won't even work out with the team in the offseason, who will be on LSD somewhere in the mountains, we don't know, and tell me, oh, we're Super Bowl contenders because we have the best corner in the NFL, which they do, and a top 5 defense, which they do.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. The 2 best offenses in the NFL. Hell, the 4 best offenses you could argue statistically in the NFL. Where were they this year? Title games. Now, did the Eagles have statistically the best pass rush? Yes. Did the Niners have statistically the best defense? Yes. But
that matters too.
It matters. Of course it matters. It's a team game. But Aaron doesn't elevate his team. Especially at this age. Give me Aaron Rodgers 7-8 years ago. I pulled the trigger. I give him 3-4 first-round picks.
But that's the point, though. If you're the Packers and you see what the value is...
Oh, that's different. We're talking about the Jets here, not the Packers.
Okay, good.
If I'm the Packers...
You're getting those 2 first-round picks, and you're running.
Look. Please, boys. I'll send you 2 first-round picks. You give me Aaron, and I'll send you Zach Wilson. All right, give me... let me put you on hold. I mute the mic. I look at everybody in the room.
We got him! We're about to fuck the Jets!
You know what? After a long conversation with the team, it was a tough decision for us, but we'll take the deal. Hang up, throw a party.
Yeah.
You want to throw a bar mitzvah? You want to throw I don't know what the hell you
throw. Take some ayahuasca?
Whatever you want. You do it.
Yeah. I'm telling.
Packers benefit. I agree. If they get that kind of haul.
And the Jets are in a I don't know if desperate's the right word.
They are, because they're going to fire their coach if he doesn't make the playoffs this year.
They need a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
They're
Whether it'll
going
work
to
out or
fire
not,
Robert
they will
Saleh.
pay that price.
They will fire Robert Saleh this year if they don't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Oh, well, Adam, that's not fair. Robert Saleh builds a really good defense. That's not fair. Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
3 years. Figure it out. Can't make the playoffs in 3 years? Get the fuck out of my life. No exception for any coach in New York, in Detroit, in Green Bay, anywhere else. Kiss my ass.
Oof.
And I love Robert. Rooting for him so hard. But he will be fired this year if they don't make the playoffs. So whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Mother Teresa, I don't know.
Ooh,
Figure it
Teresa.
out, New York. Figure it out. But all I know is you taking on Aaron Rodgers, it will not end well. I can guarantee you that.
You may be correct, but they're looking at it from his name carries so much weight.
What does it do?
Like,
they
for
make
example,
the playoffs and
yes.
they lose in the wild card.
Some teams are willing to take that.
So
You're talking
willing
about
to throw
Saleh,
away my future.
Hold on. They haven't made the playoffs. You get Aaron Rodgers, you make the playoffs. Let's say you play a close
That's
game,
enough?
you lose in the first round.
That's enough?
Better than missing
That's
it.
enough for trading 2 first-round picks potentially?
To have a chance at
You are
Super
whoring
Bowl?
yourself out for a playoff appearance. Not a Super Bowl.
What are they going to do?
Are they Super Bowl contenders if
hold
they
on.
get Jimmy G?
No.
Are they Super Bowl contenders if they get Derek Carr?
No.
Are they Super Bowl contenders if they get Aaron Rodgers?
I think they're closer with Aaron than the other two.
Are they contenders? Super
No.
Bowl contenders?
Regardless, that AFC. That AFC is tough. But you got to admit, Aaron out of those two guys, would you rather have Aaron, Derek Carr, or Jimmy G? I guess if you're talking, you don't have to give up the first round picks. You have an argument because you can get Jimmy G and keep the first round picks.
Or Derek Carr if he's going to get cut. Just saying.
You think? Well, yeah. I was gonna say the biggest point is I don't have to give up 2 first round picks and I get one of those quarterbacks. But if you're talking pure talent,
why am I going to?
He's the best option.
Why am I going to give away my capital when I've shown I can draft so well? Garrett Wilson, baby. Breece Hall, baby. Sauce Gardner, baby. Drake you name them. They got them. What are we doing here? Huh? The Jets can draft. They got something going on here.
Can't draft a quarterback.
That's the problem. No, not many teams can, Jeff.
I know it's good.
If they could, everybody would fucking have one.
But that's why they're so desperate right now. You got a good defense. You got good players, especially on offense. Go get Aaron Rodgers.
All right.
Not saying it'll end in a Super Bowl, but they're desperate.
We'll take a break. When we get back, is the NFL scripted?
Jesus.
And I have 3 players that I will cite as evidence to why the NFL is or isn't scripted. We'll get to that coming up next, but before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Well, let me tell you about them. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance for your commercial insurance review. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage, and along with that, Swiss Insurance always makes sure you won't be disappointed. Give them a shot. Contact them. mark@swissins.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby. Talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Let me tell you about my good friends over at Bedrock Detroit. They bring you the Monroe Street Midway, decked out all winter long. Shop, eat, and play downtown Detroit. Puck putt, winter bumper cars, indoor arcades, you name it, they've got it. Take your family, take your friends, enjoy yourselves, and treat yourself to a good time.
Take me.
Never. Is the NFL scripted? Is the NFL scripted?
Some former player thinks so.
Arian Foster
One former player thinks so.
is an idiot. We'll start there. But if I entertain the idea that the NFL is scripted, how do you think Sean Taylor feels?
Well, didn't he...
How do you think Aaron Hernandez feels?
Well, I think those situations are outside of football.
It's scripted.
I don't think their
everything
life is scripted.
Everything is scripted. Their lives,
everything. No.
Where they're drafted, everything.
No. Now Jamarcus Russell, you can make an argument.
Jamarcus Russell. How do you think he felt reading the script? He's probably really happy. Actually, stole $34 million. To this day, nobody says anything about it. Huh? What do you think? Dan Orlovsky's happy that he ran in the back of the end zone? Huh?
Well, there you go.
Jimmy G reading the script. Hey, you're going to have to overthrow a pass in the Super Bowl. That would have won you the game because Patrick Mahomes needs to win it. Oh, that's a great script. How about Russell Wilson? Reading the script, I got to throw the worst interception in Super Bowl history.
He threw his script away.
That's on my resume. That's my script.
I mean, there are several people that think it's scripted like all the way to
Bill
that
Belichick.
point.
Hey, Bill, you're an excellent coach, but we're going to need you to cheat intentionally and get caught. So we can suspend you and fine you. Hey, Tom, coming off your MVP season, we need you to tear your ACL week 1. Hey, Antonio Brown, we need you to get fucking killed over the middle of the field by Vontaze Burfict. And we need you to turn into a psychopath who shows his dick and fucks everybody, including dudes everywhere in the world. I don't know what's going on.
And also for context, I know the whole rig thing was brought up after the whole debacle, the championship weekend with all the ref calls. But Foster, I believe he went on Pardon My Take, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
And just the whole interview didn't sound that serious, but it's like...
I find the NFL scripted crowd hilarious. Now, if you want to tell me that
it's unbelievable, though.
There's some corruption, and that the referees, like Donahue back in the day, that happens. I will admit that happens. But to tell me, before a season ever starts, everything is scripted is a bunch of BS.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing ever.
It's what do you think Jeff Okudah felt reading his script? Joey Harrington? Huh? What about Kelvin? Hey, I'm going to be the greatest wide receiver of my generation, and I won't even win a playoff game. How about Barry? I'm going to be the greatest running back in the history of the NFL.
All right. Correction, by the way, too. Wasn't part of my take. Thank you guys in the chat. It was a podcast with PFT and Foster. They have a podcast together, and they were being sarcastic. I mean, it sounded sarcastic.
I just think it's funny.
But just the fact that people are actually talking about the NFL being rigged.
That's why we're having this conversation.
It's sports gambling as well, because I think refs making calls, sports gambling, Vegas being involved, everyone thinks everything's rigged, especially with Tim Donahue back in the day with rigged games in the NBA. This is not – the NFL is not rigged. There isn't a script. If you watch Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, their podcast New Heights, and they brought this up to Jason, he's like, well, I don't know what script everyone else is reading, but the Eagles, we don't have one, so I don't know.
But imagine the NFL
doesn't make sense.
Though. Let's entertain that thought.
The
NFL is
ridiculous
scripted.
thing.
Think about that.
Yeah.
You know, the WWF, WWE now, actually. It's scripted, right? It's professional wrestling.
That's clear.
I understand, but entertain it. Think about this.
Okay, all right.
They hand you a script, and they tell you, hey, you're going to lose on a 66-yard field goal. Or, hey, you're going to not allow the Seahawks to punt a single time this year. Or, hey, we're going to make you go 1-6, go through media hell, and be talked down to, call for your jobs, and then you're going to go 8-2 down the stretch. That's your story this year. Imagine. That is hilarious to me. Funny. Imagine, though. Imagine.
It's so ridiculous.
Hey, Brady. We're going to need you to deflate some balls, buddy.
Hey, Brady, you're going to run the most disgusting 40 ever in the NFL Combine history, have the worst Combine, but you're going to end up winning 7 Super Bowls and being the most accomplished player to ever play the game. Like, hey, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
I agree with Marcello in the chat. Not scripted, but the referees have way too much influence on the game. I agree.
Now, conversations about referees I can get with.
You guys can sell me on that.
Saying it's rigged... Come on, dude. Those guys go out and put their bodies on the line.
How do you think Mattress Mac feels? Nobody told him about the script.
Losing all that money.
Yeah, his pockets are doing just fine until recently. He's losing a bunch.
Oh, God,
but
that Dallas bet.
Yeah, it was... Jesus.
That Dallas bet.
And TCU lost money on them.
By the way, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, you know more than me, obviously, but Armani and Edwards, they brought this up the other day. They've been bringing this up the last couple of days. Am I wrong on it? Did Braylon agree that it was rigged? I don't know for certain, but...
I didn't watch. I don't know.
Just the conversation with Ryan, Maz, and Braylon talking about it, if it's rigged or not. I just can't wrap my head around the conversation of actually debating if the NFL's rigged. I don't get where it came from, and I don't understand the argument. I just don't. That it's billions and billions of dollars involved in the NFL. Especially with sports gambling. There's a lot on the line. But you really going to go out there and give players a script? I mean, this is ridiculous. And I could tell Foster, you could tell in his tone, I mean, how he was talking. Well, they give us a script the week of practice. I mean, it's all BS. It's all a big meme.
It's funny. I think it's funny.
It's hilarious.
Imagine, hey, we're going to torture the Detroit Lions franchise. 58 years, 1 playoff win. Hey, we're going to let them build a new stadium. It's going to be the best thing ever. We're going to send a Super Bowl there back in the early 2000s. And you know what? We're going to make them wait over 30 years before they see a home playoff game. Yeah, that's nice of you. Thanks, NFL. Thank you so much. Hey, Jim Schwartz, here's your script. 11-5, total disappointment.
You're going to chase Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Caldwell, I apologize, not Schwartz.
Like, hey, Schwartz, you're going to chase Harbaugh because he's going to give you a tough handshake, and you're going to try and fight him. You're going to run towards the tunnel. And it's
oh, God.
You know what? If the NFL was scripted, let's just say hypothetically, imagine being a Bills fan when they made 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Imagine reading that script.
Oh,
just
my
God. We got a script. Oh, Super Bowl appearances. 4
in a row.
Hey, buddy.
Wide right.
You don't win a single.
Oh, God.
You don't win a single one of those.
Dre Bly, reportedly the new DB coach. Can you confirm that, Jeff?
Yeah, I will.
We'll take a break. If that's true, we'll talk about it coming up next. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Planet Fitness. What are you waiting for? Sign up today. $10 a month. Home of the judgment-free zone. Cleanest atmosphere, cleanest gyms in the business. Visit planetfitness.com. Sign up today over at the website or by visiting them in store at Planet Fitness. Your fitness is essential. We'll see you guys coming out right after the break.
Woodward Sports loves sports, and we also love to party. Join us for the big Super Party. Wait, we can't say Super. We really can't say. Come join us at our Super Party on Sunday, February 12th, from the only place that can handle a Woodward Sports Super Party. Well, our Super Party will be at Flight Club on Michigan Avenue in Inkster. Join us for a live pregame show and watch party with the crew. Enjoy a halftime buffet. DJs, the Woodward Sports family, and more entertainment. You don't want to miss the big game with Woodward Sports. Get there early. This event will reach capacity. Come celebrate the Lions season and enjoy the final game of the year in style. See you Super Sunday at Flight Club. At least the party will be uncensored.
And the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Let me tell you about Ryan Armani and his journey with Dr. Jason and the team over at Custom Health Centers. He's down over 26 pounds. I'm so very happy for him. Fitting into his clothes, looking better, feeling better. There's really a pep in his step. So I'm so very happy for him and thousands of others who have been treated with life-changing recommendations, treatments by Dr. Jason and his team. Make sure you check him out. Give him a call, 844-789-8446, and start your life-changing habits today. We're back. Dre Bly. Breaking news. Dre Bly back in Detroit. Former Detroit Lions cornerback will be the cornerback coach for the Detroit Lions. Jeff, thoughts?
Love it. Obviously, we know what he's done during his tenure with the Detroit Lions as a player. 19 interceptions in 4 seasons. So we know what he brings. We know his attitude. Worked at North Carolina the last handful of years, was their cornerbacks coach. He got rid of Aubrey Pleasant last season. Here's your replacement, Dre Bly, former player. Again, it's that same mold of coaches you've been finding. Former players, guys that have a connection to the city, like Dre Bly does. I absolutely love this hire. And especially in a room of corners that are younger, depending on who you draft, you're going to draft another rookie. You're probably going to add, hopefully, a veteran. Dre Bly is the perfect ideal coach, a guy who's done it at the highest level. Again, productive during his entire NFL career. He's won a Super Bowl. So I'm all for it. It's great news. finally you get the replacement after Aubrey Pleasant. And talk about communication. I think Dre Bly will be just fine with his communication in these corners. He'll hold these guys accountable. So I think it's a great hire.
It's a good hire. I really don't have much on it as of now. The theme here is player coaches, players, former players. That seems to be a common theme with the staff. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Aaron Glenn, I think, stays. I don't think anybody offers him. I don't. Arizona, to me, would be the only one. Indianapolis, God, no. God, no. Indy's not a good fit for
They need
him.
an offensive head coach. I mean, we agree.
Tampa Bay, no. Who wants to take over that job? Hey, go in after Tom Brady's gone. Hey, go in after we have to trade Mike Evans. Hey, we're losing Lavonte David. Hey, Devin White. Hey, they're all gone. Hey, Antoine Winfield's going to become one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL. We're probably going to let him go or trade him and get capital for him. Like the Steelers did with Fitzpatrick. Or the Dolphins did, I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. That's what they're going to do. Winfield, you can expect to be traded in the next year or two. It's going to happen. Good move. Don't mind it. It's not a earth-shattering move.
Yeah, you can't sit up
Fans
here.
will be excited over it. That's great. Love Dre Bly. Always a stand-up guy. Played in Detroit. Phenomenal. Good player. You could even argue very good player. Underrated maybe during his days as a corner. I remember playing with the Lions in 2K5 back in the day. Dre Bly was on the team. So
Playmaker.
That's my early memory of Dre Bly.
And I can't sit up here and say Dre Bly will be, an excellent coach because
it's a secondary coach.
And I felt that way about Aubrey Pleasant. Didn't work out. He was fired. But we'll see what Dre Bly does. I got a lot of confidence. At least you got a guy that can look Jeff Okudah in the face and say, or whoever, I'm kind of using him as an example, but hey, I've done it. This is how you do it. Similar to AG. That's why I love the credentials AG has. Now he's a leader of men. I think Dre Bly is as well. But we just need someone to hold these guys accountable, keep everybody on the same page, and assuming Dre Bly will do that, I like to hire. But we'll find out. We'll find out how it works out.
Fish, what do you think, buddy? How's your day going so far?
It's going good. It's going great.
Have you recovered from your awful segment with us yesterday? Excuse me.
Yeah, I recovered 6 seconds after I did it. It's called life. You mess
so I'm
up.
going to give you a grade.
Live sports.
I'm going to give you a grade.
Thanks for cutting me off. I really appreciate
on
that.
your performance yesterday.
Oh, it's not even on the table. There's A, B, C, D, E,
no,
F.
it's 1 through 10.
It's not even there. It's like
1
a Z.
through 10, and I'm giving you a 1.
Okay.
I expect a 6
1.
or 7 performance next week.
Okay.
And then the week after, I'm going to start expecting 10s across the board, okay?
Okay.
Get your shit together.
I'll try.
All right, cool.
Good talk. Appreciate it. Are you
Anytime.
watching Juventus Lazio today? Coppa Italia? Oh, well, you should. You should tap in.
Nope, I'm working.
Okay, I told you there's multitask.
No such thing.
Well, there is.
I
It's been
multitask
done
on
before.
work projects, not entertainment.
You don't even have to watch, just listen. Stick your
I can't
earbud
listen.
in. What do you mean you can't listen?
Nope, distracts me.
You sit.
Who listens to sports? It's 2023. You watch them.
Everyone. Why do they have radio broadcasts for every sporting event
Who
you
listens
can
to
imagine?
radio sporting events nowadays? It's like 90% lower than what it used to be. Nobody listens anymore.
If you're driving in the car during a game, if you're you hate maybe you don't like the TV broadcast, which a lot of people have that with NHL hockey. They'll pull up the Red Wings people, Ken Cal.
Yeah, I would very much rather listen than
Dan
watch.
Miller. You'd rather listen to Dan Miller than some of the TV people they've got on Fox and CBS. So there's your reason. You pull up Jeff Iafrate. You can equate to that. Go pull up Dan Miller.
Dan Miller's a legend. You listen for Dan Miller.
There
not
you go.
Because
There
you prefer
there you
listening
go.
over watching.
There you go. You could have the TV on, listen to the radio. People do it before. Why? I don't know, but they do it. That's why they have radio broadcasts. Because people might mute the TV, pull up their phone, quick, boom. There you go. You got Dan Miller or whoever your favorite radio guy is on the radio, and boom. Now you watch the game and you listen to them. Or if you're on the go, you listen. Maybe you got to go grocery shopping for your girlfriend, wife, yourself, your family, and you can't make time. There you go.
Did he sell you? Did he sell you on it?
Nah, I'm pretty sold at the moment.
Okay,
Anything
good job,
else?
Fish.
I think that's it.
Anything else you have going on today, buddy? You want to share with anybody?
That's about it. I'll be watching that. I've been watching sports news.
What's up with you rocking USA gear all of a sudden?
Well, sadly, it's cold.
Ah.
So, I mean, I have another jacket, I think. I don't know. I only buy, like, stuff that I need. I need one winter jacket, maybe 7 or 8 shirts, maybe 8 or 9 pants.
Do you wear them all at the same time or no?
Well, I don't need to, no.
Okay, I was just asking.
I mean, I do have a hoodie on, and then I've got another shirt. Which
Can I ask you one question?
Black, long, yeah.
Why do the men's soccer team suck balls?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Well, I think it's easy. It's competitiveness. There's more competition, not competitive. It's competition. There's more competition in the men's than the women's game.
Well, I'm not comparing. I'm just asking why they suck balls. It's a very literal question.
Well, it is, but it's competition. There's more competition in the men's game. There's like 15 countries that are better than us. Youth system.
It's like USA basketball.
Yeah.
Except that's actually gotten a little closer over the years.
It has.
But still, it's...
Yeah. They'll still probably win the World Cup this year, although they don't send their best team, so they might not.
Yeah, they don't. A lot of players just opt out of it.
We got the baseball World Baseball Classic coming up in a few weeks. I'm excited for that. USA may win. They won back in when they have it 17, so hopefully we can win it again. It's some dingers over there, and then winning basketball coming up. The Women's World Cup this year, June and July, I'll be tapped in.
Correct.
Adam, you should be tapped in as well.
I'll think
Women's
about it.
soccer at its finest.
Fuck them. We'll take a break. When we get back, mailbag time. Get your questions in the chat. Jeff, Fish, myself will answer all of your questions. Be sure to drop them in the chat. But before we do, Jeff, I got to tell everybody at home about our good friends over at Cousins Maine Lobster. What are you waiting for? Scan the QR code you see on the screen right now. Or visit cousinsmainelobster.com. Find out where their locations are with their food trucks and go treat yourself to a delicious lunch. Lobster tacos, clam chowder, soup. That's my go-to. And we'll see you coming out with mailbag in just a minute.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com as always. 9:48, mailbag time. Jeff? This is going to be fun. First question. Do you think Staley leaving was almost bound to happen once Ben Johnson came back and assistant head coach was going to be his job? And running backs coach.
I think he could see the writing on the wall there.
How so?
I mean,
was he an aspiring coordinator that I'm not aware of?
I think it's a little of both. I think a little of it is personal, dealing with, obviously his mother being ill. He had other motivations, but at the same time, Ben Johnson, he's gonna leave in a year. So maybe Duce got the impression of they're grooming someone else to take that OC job. I don't really see myself growing. I think I've reached the max. He's an assistant head coach. I don't see him doing anything more than that. You get to go closer to your family, get to work with someone you're familiar with. Like, I think there's a lot of reasons that go into it. I don't think it's just one specific reason.
I really don't have an opinion on it because I'm not aware, to my knowledge, of an aspiring coordinator Duce Staley was or is. If he publicly came out and said, this is where I want to go in the direction, then I want to elevate myself hopefully one day as a head coach, okay, fine, I'll get on board. But I really
That's
just
why
don't
I think
know.
it's more motivated for other reasons.
I don't know. Would you do this trade? Henderson asks. Detroit gets a first-round pick from the Knicks and Cam Reddish. Knicks get Sadiq Bey. Jeff, I'll let you answer.
I don't know. That doesn't really entice me. Knowing what Troy's done in past history, usually the trades have worked out in his favor. If that's a trade he's interested in, I'll wait and give my opinion, but just looking at it now, not too intrigued by that. Maybe the first-round pick and Cam Reddish, okay, but how far does this move this rebuild along? I don't think it moves it that much far ahead. So I would say it is what it is. I'm not interested in that trade, but I won't be mad.
All right, Mailbag. Which team is more desperate to trade up with Chicago or Arizona to take a quarterback in the draft?
I can see the Colts moving up. That's
Colts?
The Colts. I think
Carolina
would be another team. They're desperate. Teams that need a quarterback, and they feel like they're a quarterback away. I think the Colts...
Who's a quarterback away, legitimately? Like
I say that, but...
I insert semi or good or very good rookie quarterback, depending on how you want to grade them. Insert quarterback, young, rookie deal. Who's ready right away? The Jets? Not to be contenders, but they're vastly better, and they can get to the playoffs.
I would say the Panthers, because they're division.
Their division, I'll give you that. The Buccaneers,
yeah,
they have the receiver, but I don't know how many of those players are going to stay, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like the Colts, to me, they need more receivers. I think that's a part of it, but the Panthers have DJ Moore. They have talent there. We'll see. Division, though, matters.
All right, fair enough. What else we got here?
Mailbag, a little teaser. For next Thursday's free agency dive, would Doran Payne be a fit for the Lions?
Daron Payne?
Yeah, yep.
Don't get ahead of yourselves, guys. Next Thursday you'll find out who.
Dante, Mailbag, Jeff, can you explain what Snoop Dogg said about St. Brown? Because I think he mispronounced Brown's name. He goes Amon-Ra. He said Amon-Ra, I think it was. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm like, I love Snoop Dogg, man. He's the best. But like he said, he watched Amon-Ra play when he was young. So Uncle Snoop knows a thing or two. He does.
100%.
Mailbag, since we play Kansas City next season, do you see the NFL having that game an international game? I think it was already... the Kansas City, they play...
Kansas City will be overseas. We don't know if it's the Lions yet.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind it.
They're playing in Germany, so
it's
we'll
great
see
exposure for the organization, but if it's instead of a home game, I think that's frustrating. But a road game, who cares? Go to a neutral site. Go out overseas.
All right, would you trade pick 6 and 18 to draft Jalen Carter at 3? No. Give me secondary, man. And again, think about it this way, Marcello. If you're trading from 6 to 3, and it's for a defensive player, I'm maybe only willing to give you 6, a second-round pick, and a future.
You're not giving them 2 firsts to move up 3 picks.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
No.
And I would much rather walk away with a Joey Porter Jr. and a linebacker, or even Miles Murphy. You have so many options. Brian Brissy. You have options at 6. We have so much time for the draft talk, to be honest with you. I still don't know where I want the board to go. This time last year, I was really in the same position. I didn't know yet because we just haven't dived into it yet. We haven't gone into it. Once the Super Bowl ends, it's all draft time. It's all draft time, and we'll get to that at a later time. Coming up, 2 weeks from now.
Joey says, read the chat, Juicy. Dre Bly is the new cornerback coach. Yes, we just talked about that.
We already covered that. Let's see. With the state of the NFC.
Absolutely love the hire.
With the state of the NFC, should the Lions have an aggressive offseason to make a push for next season or continue what they're doing, potentially miss out next season and push for 2024? Jacob, I'm going to read into what you say, or excuse me, what you said. The Lions are a playoff team this year. That's not changing. 2024, their salary cap really opens up. And then you can go all in, if that's the terminology you want to use here. I don't think this is the offseason. It's not even that I don't think it. It's not a reality.
Right.
It's not a reality. And who's the guy you could cut that would save you the most money? Jared Goff, $25 million. You would save day one. $5 million cap hit. He's your quarterback, though, so you're not moving him. So there is no money. It's you sign 2 first-round picks, you sign 2 second-round picks, you sign a third-round pick, you sign the rest of the draft, you go out and re-sign a few players, and you maybe can target 1 quality player in free agency. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all you got money for. So there is no option this year. It's next year. Next year you can spend in free agency, not this season.
When will Fish guest host his first show? Ethan asks. Fish, when are you going to step up? When are you coming out of the dugout? What's going on?
It's up to you two gentlemen up front. I mean,
if I miss a day, I you know what?
Yeah,
I'll call you up, Fish. You come
gotta-
in. You're the backup quarterback.
Yeah,
you could be like the Mr. Irrelevant of Woodward Sports. You can be the guy that comes in, no one expects. You come in, you absolutely kill it. You're Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And then you
Come
like
in
Brock Purdy.
throwing dimes.
Throwing dimes.
Touchdown.
Let me see that form again, real quick. Let me just see it. Let me check it out. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a duck. That's going into a DB's hands.
Or it's a touchdown.
It could be. It could be. Mailbag Jeff, do you see Imani Bates dropping to the second round of the draft? I mean, if he does, it's character issues. Talent-wise, no way.
Give me all the character issue people, please. Micah Parsons, character issues, sign me up, please.
I know that character stuff gets a little overblown, but
just like Malik Willis in underwear last year. Oh my God!
In underwear,
he could throw the football in his underwear. He gave food to a homeless guy.
What film?
That's the number 2 overall pick.
You didn't see that?
You didn't see that?
What film did you watch of him in his underwear?
The tighties, whatever you call them.
Yeah,
Spandex,
people are
I don't
going
know.
nuts over that.
Looks like they're in their underwear. Damn it!
Oh God,
Happens every year though.
Mailbag, how do you handle Swift, injury prone and inconsistent? Trade him for a pick or put faith in him?
No one will trade him. No one will trade for him. You put faith in him.
To sure.
But you draft a running back in the 5th round, the 6th round, the 7th round. I don't know what you're going to do. You're gonna draft one, and you're gonna sign a few to come to camp in the undrafted period. Excuse me, undrafted free agents. That's what you're gonna do. You'll re-sign Jamal Likely. You're gonna draft a back in the 5th round, and then you're gonna sign a few to come to camp and compete. And you're gonna have them on the practice squad if the inevitable happens that DeAndre Swift does go down. Hopefully he doesn't, but I have no evidence to back up that he'll play a full season. Let's see what else we got here, Jeff. Mailbag. Fish, what's your favorite Lunchable?
Jenna asks.
I mean, probably the pizza one or the cheese and crackers one are the go-to. Those are just easy, simple.
Do they still have that? It's like chips and salsa.
They do. That's a good one too.
Yeah, that's what I used to get back in the day. I don't know. There's a couple good Lunchables. My little brother still eats them. Man, don't sleep on a Lunchable.
No, how do you not? They're easy.
Hope Carolina doesn't steal Jamal with Duce there now? I don't think so. I think they like the 2 guys they got, the 2 backs. And again, Jamal would love nothing more to be here. I love Duce. I think Jamal loves Duce, but I don't think his motivation is to strictly play where Duce is playing.
I mean, they always say that until they're not here anymore.
I get that. And if the Lions don't offer him what he wants, then maybe he will leave, but I don't see that. I don't.
What else we got here?
Jimmy John's or Subway?
Jimmy John's. Subway's garbage.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like.
Oh, I'm sorry,
my
Fish.
go-to.
Did I hurt your feelings?
No, you didn't hurt my feelings. That's
Subway's garbage.
This is a place I go to.
Eat
Not
Fresh?
often.
Subway?
Yeah,
Eat Fresh. It's the furthest thing from Fresh.
Oh, I get the Subway. The
Jersey Mike's way better than both.
Oh, you're absolutely correct.
Jersey Mike's is pretty good.
I'm a big sub
Fire
guy.
Station subs way better than all 3.
Ooh.
Fire Station they got good subs.
Good.
They do.
So the next time you see the fat people on TV telling you eat fresh, eat fresh,
Jersey,
run away. Run away. Don't listen to them.
I had Jersey Mike's the other day.
They're all paid to lie to you.
Jersey Mike's is delicious.
It's pretty good.
Mailbag, when are the new uniforms going to be unveiled? We don't know. It's all speculation. But
last time, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but last time they came out with new uniforms, I believe they announced it in April. So give it a couple months. Maybe you'll see that develop over the next couple months, hopefully.
There's a question, and damn it, I'm not reading it. Oh, I hate you, Marcello. You know where my heart's at. Stop it, damn it. It's much easier to draft. I want to
know the question.
Shut up, Jeff.
Well,
Don't
you got to look at
it
on the internet.
It's much easier to draft defensive linemen than corners in the draft. Detroit should add a top corner in free agency and try to trade up and draft Carter. I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to pass. Although I agree it's a very deep corner class, I'm taking the best one if I can get my hands on him. I want Devin Witherspoon. I want Joey Porter Jr. Give me them both. I don't give a fuck. Sign me up. Give me all the cocaine I can handle. Please, God. Please, God. Mailbag, what do you guys think Brad might do with some of the cap? I really kind of just outlined it. There's limitations. You can re-sign a few players, go out and get one in free agency, and then you got to sign all your draft picks. You got the 6th overall pick, that's going to command some money, and the 18th overall pick, that's going to command a decent salary, 2 second-round picks. You got to spend some money, boys. You got to spend some money.
Have you been to Penn Station?
I'm going to tell you to shut the hell up because we got to end the show.
Before we go,
Sounds good.
Herb Nash asks, Adam, Lamar or Kyler?
Oh, Lamar.
Wow, no hesitation. All right.
No hesitation at all.
But
Lamar Jackson.
But neither are franchise quarterbacks.
I would take Lamar to start my franchise over Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Lamar, I don't question his work ethic. I don't doubt him when I sleep at night.
Okay. Yeah.
And if Lamar was my quarterback, I would not be giving him designed runs throughout the game. I would make him figure out how to throw the freaking football.
Just checking if you still believe that Lamar is a franchise
I'm
quarterback.
consistent with this, man.
Okay. All right.
No. Don't get me wrong. Not my cup of tea. We'll take him over him.
It's delicious tea, though.
We'll take him over Rodgers. We'll take him over Russ. We'll take him over Zach Wilson, obviously. Not saying much, but you know where I'm going with this.
Right.
Whether they're young, old, doesn't matter. We're out of here. Thank you guys so much. I know, Neil. We got to get the hell out. Neil Rule is here. He's going to kick us out of the studio. We got to get the hell out of here. Thank you guys so much. See you tomorrow. Live. We'll be here in the studio, but Big D Energy, Armani, and Edwards will be live at Matrix Home Solutions grand opening in Plymouth. We're out. Take care. Sayonara. Goodbye.
Bye. Have a good day, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Good show.